Hey, folks, welcome. This is the Free America Radio Network. This is The Views Expressed Live. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, for the 22nd of October, 2014. How you doing? Hey, my apologies for not having a show yesterday, but I'm in the, let's just say I'm in the middle of a production for a show, so it's kind of like I needed time to get most of it done. So anyway, hey, how y'all doing today? It is Wednesday. It is Hump Day. And it is 9 days before Halloween. Or here in Nevada, it's called Nevada Day. Lots of things going on, folks. Lots of things. Again, just want to remind you that Free America Radio Network needs your support. We are scaling back just a bit, but because we're moving to the next level. That might sound a little strange. We're scaling back to move to the next level. Yeah, we're scaling back to move to the next level. And your donations and contributions and sponsorships will help this network grow. And if you like it, hey, great, let me know. freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, and even if you disagree with me, that's the email address, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Hey, I'm looking for voice actors or voiceover work I need done, and if you are interested, please let me know. If you have a show on Spreaker or any other network like livetruthradio.com or whatever it may be, over at crazywolfradio.net, whatever. If you have a show, if you have something you want to promote, let me know. Send your audio clip to freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Also, if you want to do a liner or whatever for Free America Radio Network, hey, feel free. Send that over. By the way, just to let you know, promotions are free, don't cost you a dime, but if you want to advertise something, I'm not here to break your advertising budget. So go to freeamericaradio.us, go to the sponsors page, and check it out. There you go. Got any questions? Please ask. You'll never know if you don't. So please email me those questions at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to Free America Radio on Facebook, if you would, please. Thank you very much. You ever have one of those days when you wake up in the morning and you're just like, why am I awake? You ever get to that point? Why am I awake? Why am I doing what I do? You look in the mirror and it's like, who am I? Who is that strange fellow staring back at me? I'm just having a good time, folks. I'm just having a really, really good time. What can I say? Hey, how about this? I'll go to break. I'll come right back. You can go to Free America Radio on Facebook if you'd like. I only got one thing up there. I'm going to highlight a few things from yesterday and kind of bring up some more stuff like the shooting in Canada in Ottawa, in the nation's capital up there. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. You can also go to the website at freeamericaradio.us. I shall return right after this. Don't wait until another natural or man-made disaster strikes. Have at least 72 hours of emergency gear near you at all times, and that includes food. Get your emergency food supply today. Go to freeamericaradio.us, and at the top of the page, click on the emergency food supply link. Help your family by purchasing as much emergency food supply as you need. You'll be helping out your family and Free America Radio Network. Thank you. Mainstream science argues that if something can't be touched, measured, quantified, and duplicated in a laboratory, then it doesn't exist. According to this worldview, reality is an unconscious, non-personal mass of matter, which leaves no room for the existence of spiritual or unexplained phenomena. But is that all there really is to reality? Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman don't think so, and after reading this book, neither will you. In The Grid, paranormal investigators and best-selling authors Jones and Flaxman present their theory of the grid, a divine superstructure that includes multiple levels of existence, the entirety of which makes up our reality. Jones and Flaxman will show you how to release the limiting belief that this is all there is once and for all by exploring the grid, expanding your awareness, and empowering your life in the process. Reality, dear friend, will never be the same again. The Grid, Exploring the Hidden Infrastructure of Reality by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. Hey, there you are. My loyal listeners right here on the Free America Radio Network. This is The Views Expressed live right here on the Free America Radio Network. We're here Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern for your convenience. Sometimes we're not on, like yesterday. I have so many irons in the fire right now. Actually, to tell you the truth, I've written and am in the process of recording and editing a Halloween play for next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 29th, 30th, and 31st, to be broadcast live on Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com. Yes, that's Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com or on the website at eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com. Oh, it's not only the radio play that I am working on now, but I'm going to have two other ones there. Not originals. I didn't write them. So come join me next week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, on Eastland Radio Repertory Theater for Halloween broadcast. So anyway, yes, that's at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com or eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com. So check it out. And if you were here in the first 5 minutes, that's one of the reasons why I need some voice actors, because I'm writing some more radio plays, and you can be a part of that. Yes. So anyway, you can email me for all that at eastlandradiotheater@usa.com. eastlandradiotheater@usa.com. Thank you very much. Hey, give a big shout out to the one and only, the man himself out there in Lima, Ohio, Mr. Brian D. Lang over at LiveTruthRadio.com. Go listen to his show Monday through Friday, 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, right there on LiveTruthRadio.com. Also go to Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. He doesn't have a show yet, so somebody want to pick him up? He's looking for a platform to continue his show called Distorted Reality. So go to Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Yes, if you're able to help him out, please do. He's got a lot to say. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Hey, also one other quick little promo. Mr. Bob Brutus over at crazywolfradio.net. Go check him out. If you want to talk about or you want to listen to someone who knows behind the scenes of Albert Pike and the Freemasons and the Illuminati and all that, then you go listen to Mr. Bob Brutus at crazywolfradio.net. There you go. See, all those promotions are free. Didn't cost them a dime. But if you're advertising something, please let me know. Yeah, it's not going to break your advertising budget. Go to freeamericaradio.us. Go to the sponsors page. Do what you can to support peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this nation and Free America Radio Network. And help us continue to share the truth one fact at a time. Tearing away the veil to show you who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles in this shadow government. freeamericaradio.us. Got any questions, concerns, comments? Please ask. freeamericaradio freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. So, anyway, holy crap, did I give you enough to think about? Oh, goodness gracious. Hey, got a question for you. Got a question, just simple. It's not complicated. You don't have to, Who are you? It's a simple question. People describe themselves as their job. I'm a gas station attendant. I'm a 7-Eleven employee. I'm, whatever. No, who are you? And the reason why I ask that is because I want to know what is your reaction to what is going on in our society today? What is your reaction? I mean, seriously, is it something that how do you react? I know how I react. You hear it every day right here on The Views Expressed Live. But how do you react? And does that say more or less about who you are? A lot of deep stuff today, huh? Check it out. It's not complicated, folks. It's simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Okay? Just figure it out, folks. There it is. Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, because I don't have a whole lot on Free America Radio. Canadian Parliament lockdown. 1 suspect reported dead from news.yahoo.com. Canada's Parliament attacked near where Prime Minister was speaking. Harper safe. Randall Palmer and David Lundgren over at Reuters wrote this. At least one gunman entered Canada's Parliament buildings, there's more than one, on Wednesday, and many shots were fired just outside the room where Prime Minister Stephen Harper was addressing a meeting of legislators. Harper was safely removed from the building, but Parliament was locked down. Eyewitnesses said at least 30 shots were fired in dramatic scenes in the heart of the Canadian capital. Quote, PM Harper was addressing caucus, then a huge boom followed by rat-a-tat shots. We all scattered. It was clearly right outside the caucus door, unquote, Treasury Board Minister Tony Clement said. A spokesman for Harper said, quote, while the Prime Minister stated that facts are still being gathered, we condemned this despicable attack, unquote. The suspected gunman was shot dead inside the Parliament building, Ottawa police said. Minutes before the shooting there, a soldier had been shot and fatally wounded at the nearby National War Memorial in Ottawa. But the incidents, shocking in Canada's normally tranquil capital, were not over. Ottawa police were searching for more suspects near the War Memorial in central Ottawa and on nearby Parliament Hill, a police spokesman said. Residents were warned to stay away from downtown Ottawa. Dramatic video footage posted by the Globe and the Mail newspaper showed police with guns drawn inside the main Parliament building. At least a dozen loud bangs can be heard on the clip, echoing through the hallway. Veterans Affairs Minister Julian Fantino, a former policeman, told the Toronto Sun that Parliament's head of security, Sergeant-at-Arms Kevin Vickers, shot dead a suspected gunman. Quote, all the details are not in, but the Sergeant-at-Arms, a former Mountie, is one that engaged the gunman, or one of them at least, and stopped this, unquote, Fantino said. Canadian Cabinet Minister Jason Kenney said a guard in a Parliament building had also been wounded in the incident. There was no word yet on the identity of any suspect or suspects or of any motive for the shooting. It was also unclear whether there was any connection to an attack on Monday when an Islamic convert ran down 2 Canadian soldiers with his car, killing one near Montreal before being shot dead by police in the first fatal attack on Canadian soil tied to Islamic militants. Canada announced this month it was joining the battle against Islamic State fighters who have taken over parts of Iraq and Syria. The attacks took place as the Canadian government prepared to boost the powers of its spy agency, the Canadian Security Intelligence Service. Public Safety Minister Stephen Blaney said last Thursday the new legislation would let the agency track and investigate potential terrorists when they travel abroad and ultimately prosecute them. As the drama in Ottawa unfolded, police in dark bulletproof vests and carrying automatic rifles flooded the streets near Parliament. Some took cover behind vehicles and shouted to people to clear the area, saying, "We don't have the suspect in custody, you are in danger." That's in quotes. People quickly cleared several blocks of downtown Ottawa. By noon Eastern, the streets were empty. Several police cars were parked on the lawns outside the Parliament building. Small groups of police could be seen sheltering behind at least 2 cars. Members of Parliament were told to lock or barricade themselves in their offices and stay away from the windows. Let me just scroll on down here and highlight some more areas here. In Washington, a White House official said U.S. President Barack Obama had been briefed on the situation. He said the United States had offered assistance to Canada. Mass shootings are relatively rare in Canada, which has stricter gun laws than the United States. Compared with Capitol Hill in Washington, security on Parliament Hill is also fairly low-key. Anybody would walk right up to the front door of the Parliament's center block with arms and explosives without being challenged before entering the front door, where a few guards check accreditation. A construction worker who was on the scene in Ottawa when the shooting began told Reuters he heard a gunshot and then saw a man with a scarf over his face running towards Parliament. Quote, he was wearing blue pants and a black jacket and he had a double-barreled shotgun and he ran up the side of this building here and hijacked a car at gunpoint, unquote. Construction worker Scott Walsh told Reuters. The driver got out safely, then the man drove the car to the center block on Parliament Hill, where construction work is underway, Walsh said. The suspected gunman rushed past a woman with a child in a stroller who ran away screaming. He did not attack the woman or the child, he said. Center Block is the main building on Parliament Hill, a sprawling complex of buildings and open space in downtown Ottawa. It contains the House of Commons and Senate chambers, as well as the offices of some members of Parliament, senators, and senior administration for both legislative houses. One member of Parliament, Mark Strahl, tweeted from inside Parliament, quote, very tense situation in Ottawa this morning. Multiple gunshots fired outside our caucus room. I am safe and in lockdown. Unbelievable, unquote. The Canadian military closed its bases across the country following the events in Ottawa, CBC TV said. So, question. If it took that amount of time, which relatively speaking was probably quicker than in anything that we have ever heard happen here, why are these buildings, specifically in Washington, D.C., the White House, all these other, legislative buildings, why do they not have guards outside of the building, especially the White House? Remember a couple of weeks ago, the guy jumped the fence and ran right into the White House? Why? I can tell you right now, if you had 20 guys surrounding the White House, I don't care who they are, Secret Service, military, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you had 20 guys around the White House right now, or back then when the guy jumped the fence and ran into the White House, he wouldn't have got 5 feet. He would have been down. Okay? Why don't we have that much security here? Well, it's real simple. It's real simple. We don't want that security here. The elites don't want it. The corporations don't want it. Why? Because, well, their argument would be, well, we don't want to scare people. We don't want to put people in a state of panic. Have you seen the rest of the country? Have you heard the 75 to 80% of the law enforcement and military in this country say that we live in a tyranny and a police state? Have you? I think we've gone beyond panic at this point. Okay, I think we've gone beyond that. Okay, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But here we are. We're in a country. Well, let's speak of Canada for a minute. Yes, they have tremendously strict gun laws. Okay? They don't have a constitution like we have. They're under the control of the Queen of England. Because, as you know, several years ago, the Queen of England came into Canada and suspended Parliament 3 times in 1 year because, people were pissed off. The citizens of Canada were pissed off, and they're going, no, you're going to do this. And Parliament's like, I don't know. The Queen came in, shut down Parliament, turned around and said, no, the people don't get what they want. I could be wrong in that, so please email me and let me know. But we don't have that here. We have freedom. They have a Charter of Rights. We have a Bill of Rights. Prior to 1871. Go look it up. And it is our God-given right to protect ourselves no matter where we're at, what we're doing. We have a God-given right to protect ourselves, period. In Canada, yeah, they have a God-given right because they're part of this group called humanity, and they have a God-given right to protect themselves as well. But the regulations are so much that they're not able to. Now, I could be wrong in that. Please email me and let me know. But here, we got a president who, let's just put it this way, he's right at the edge of being arrested for criminal activity and for all sorts of things. And guess what? The military can go in. The military, actually the Provost Marshal of the United States, the head guy, can walk right into the office of the president, look at him and Vice President Biden and say, gentlemen, you're under arrest. Come with us. He can do that. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But the military can do that. But the military won't do that because, well, have you seen what happened in other countries when the military takes over for a little while? Yeah, that wouldn't be good in the United States of America. So the Provost Marshal and the Attorney General, which of course won't do it, can go right into the office and have them arrested. Okay? But here's the thing. Here's the thing in Canada. This whole thing is rare, as that article said. It's very, very rare. But with the Islamic militants, the far left radicals of the Islamic faith, and there are radicals in every single religion across the planet, these people of ISIS and ISIL and Islamic State don't care about your rights. You know what they want? They want a far left radical theosophy. Theocracy. They want to be in total and absolute control where your wives and your daughters and your girlfriends can't walk down the street without having a burqa on. All black, you can't see their face, all you see is their eye. No. Not going to happen in the United States. And they know it. But we have a president that says, come on in. Well, not in that fashion, but he's allowing it. You notice he hadn't closed the border yet, right? You notice he hadn't increased border security at all, right? And he's not going to go after ISIL or ISIS or IS. Why? Those are his buddies. Why would he want to kill them? If we had a decent constitutional president in the office, if we had somebody with balls in the office, do you know that within approximately 3 weeks of ISIS, which is another name, another faction of Al-Qaeda and the Taliban and Mujahideen, if we had somebody in the White House with balls, those people wouldn't be alive today. 75%, I would even take a wild guess and speculate that if we had a president with balls, 75% of all terrorists around the world would be dead. Just done, okay? You want this over with? Okay. If we had a president with balls, he'd tell Saudi Arabia, we know you are harboring terrorist fugitives. You either give them up in the next 90 days, or guess what? We're pulling out of OPEC and we're pulling out of the United Nations. Do you know why? Because we have enough oil in this country to last us another 1,000 years. We don't need you. And we're pulling out of the UN because you're a waste of our money. And you're nothing but a criminal organization. We want nothing to do with you. Oh, but we need a president that stands behind Israel. No. Israel can take care of themselves. Believe it. Okay? We need to shake hands and be nice, and we'll do what we can, but we're not going to stand there and get behind them. We can't tell them how to run their government, and we can't tell them how to protect themselves. They're doing fine on their own, and they have been doing fine for well over 5,000 years. I don't think they need our help. Do you? I'm not against Israel. I think the people of Israel are getting a raw deal from the United States. I think the government of Israel is nothing more than a puppet government that we set up many, many years ago. But they don't need our help. They're doing just fine on their own. Hey, folks. Gonna take a break. Gonna go and do the thing, and you know what I mean. Promote some folks. So anyway, hey, folks, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to the website if you want to sponsor the show. freeamericaradio.us. Go to the sponsors page. Not going to break your advertising budget, and that's the way I like it. So, check it out. I shall return right after this. Telling you the truth without all the bull. The Wayne S. Pierce Show. The WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com.
Sarasota's home for R&B and soul. The Razor Blade Express with Dave the Rave.
And will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Damn politicians. My mother always told me this country would be screwed if the liberals had their way. The only sanity I get is when I listen to Jeff Wagner on the Conservative Voice, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor? Do you want to hone your abilities? Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. We are currently looking for voice actors to fill certain character roles in an ongoing radio play in development. Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. Hey, folks, welcome back. How you doing? We're rocking and rolling today on this Wednesday, the 22nd of October, 2014. Cool. Right on. Hey, give it up to Mr. Bob Brutus over at CrazyWolfRadio.net and Mr. Brian Lang over at LiveTruthRadio.com. And, of course, you can listen to their shows as well. Just go to their websites. Check it out. Hey, check out somebody else. Nick Tucker. Check out Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. He needs a platform to do a show. So contact him with your information. Make him an offer he can't refuse. You know, oh my God. If you have gone to Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook and you read what he's written, yeah, I'm sure you would want him on your network. I'm trying to do as much as I can to get him over here, but, you know, hey, we all got day jobs, folks. So, you know, we're all, you know, doing a show like this, it takes time. You know, there's a lot of prep. There's a lot of, I got to read a lot of articles. I got to read a lot of posts on Facebook. I got to click that, and that goes to this website, goes to AP, go to this, go to that. And I got to read these things. And like I read the article earlier. My God. Takes a lot of work, man. So, yeah, give it up for Mr. Nick Tucker over at Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Check it out. Hey, I'm over here at the go-to site, Drudge Report. The the news came out earlier about the Michael Brown and the Ferguson shooting and all that. If you haven't heard it, let me point something out to you. Brian Kelly over at stlouis.cbsnews.com or cbslocal.com, stlouis.cbslocal.com. The headline reads, New information released on Michael Brown case. Ferguson, Missouri. A report by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch this morning shows the official autopsy supports Ferguson officer Darren Wilson's claim that Michael Brown struggled with him in his patrol vehicle and that Brown did not have his hands up when he was shot on August 9th. The source tells the Post-Dispatch that Wilson testified to the grand jury that when he tried to get out of his SUV to talk to Brown and his friend Dorian Johnson about the theft of cigarillos, Brown slammed the door shut and punched him in the face. Wilson pulled his weapon and Brown grabbed it At one point, the barrel was pointed at Wilson's hip. Then a shot was fired, hitting Brown's hand. Wilson says he then chased Brown, who turned and ran toward him. Wilson said, "Stop," then fired. Brown kept coming, so Wilson fired several more shots. The Post-Dispatch also had 3 experts examine the official autopsy. St. Louis medical examiner Dr. Michael Graham says the report supports claims that there was a significant struggle in Wilson's patrol car, and Brown suffered a hand wound at, quote, relatively short range, unquote. A forensic pathologist from San Francisco, Dr. Judy Melinek, says based on a bullet wound to Brown's arm, Brown's palms could have been facing Wilson in a standard surrender position with hands up and palms out when he was shot, and Brown was falling forward or lunging when he was hit by the fatal shot to the top of his head. Based on toxicology tests, Ohio State University College of Pharmacy consultant Alfred Stabus concludes Brown had used marijuana within a few hours of his death, but it is not clear if he was impaired at the time. The Post-Dispatch says Brown's family attorney calls Wilson's account absurd from beginning to end. Well, yeah, because, I want to thank stlouis.cbslocal.com for that, and Brian Kelly. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Well, let me go down here. Wilson pulled his weapon. Now, a cop does not pull their weapon unless they're planning on using it and defending themselves, okay? I'm going to put this up on the Free America Radio Facebook page for you all to check out. A cop does not... I know police. San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, Stockton Police Department, all that. I know cops. You do not pull your weapon unless you plan to use it, either in defense of yourself or in the act of subduing a criminal. Okay? You do not do this. And it says here, at one point, the barrel was pointed at Wilson's hip, and then a shot was fired, hitting Brown's hand. Okay? Simple, right? Nothing complicated there, right? Well, let me tell you this. When a cop points his gun at you and tells you to stop, don't you think common sense would kick in and say, I think I should stop? No, but he didn't. Brown didn't. But now, let me go here. You've got people like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton who went there, and people shouted them down and pretty much ran them out of town because they don't like the race baiting, because guess who's there? The new Black Panther Party, who is going to do everything they can to get this Darren Wilson in prison or executed. Why? Because that's just how they are. They're race-baiting morons that do not give a crap about the laws and never have and never will. That's the new Black Panther Party. The original Black Panther Party, who one of the founding members has been on Pete Santilli, has been on Alex Jones, has been, elsewhere on the independent media, has said that's not what the group was all about. Okay? But this Shabazz, that's the leader of the new Black Panther Party, is an idiot. I'm a white guy, and I have friends from every race that you... I got Asian friends, black friends, Mexican friends. It doesn't matter. We all can sit down and enjoy our company without getting all uppity and everything. No. But there are people out there who don't want that. There are people out there who really don't care. And those people are going to continue to attempt to drive a wedge between each member of humanity, no matter what race you are. I heard one commentator say that on a show I listened to, the host actually of the show said that he has watched what has been going on there, and he is certain that it's going to make the LA riot after the Rodney King verdict look like a freaking picnic. Okay? He didn't say that. That's my words. But the sentiment is the same. The host I was listening to said they're going to burn Ferguson to the ground. If these people in Ferguson don't get their way, when I say these people, I'm pretty sure there's, other than blacks there as well. But the people that are on Michael Brown's side, if they don't see this Darren Wilson, the officer, put in jail or executed, you're going to see a riot on your hands that would even make Kent State in Ohio back in the 70s look like a child's party in a park. Okay? It's going to be that bad. Now, I'm not pushing for that, and I hope that it's not. And if it doesn't happen, I'm wrong. No big deal. But here's my point. We have to stop the political correctness. Political correctness is killing this country. Political correctness is stupid. Political correctness is a detriment to the building of relationships between races. Knock the crap off. What the hell are you people thinking? Thank you, Mr. William Jefferson Clinton, the President of the United States in the 90s, who, attempted to... No, he instituted political correctness. By the way, that's one of the tools the progressives use to try to divide everybody so that they can take control and come in and say, hey, look, we fixed it. So no. In a perfect world, which this isn't, because we're all diverse and we all have different views and everything, which is good to a point. But in a perfect country, okay, if we had a president of the United States of America that had the balls, they'd get rid of, and we would, demand that he get rid of the Ku Klux Klan, the Socialist Party of America, the Communist Party of America, and the new Black Panther Party. And a few other ones who are detrimental to the peace, freedom, security, and liberty of this nation. Now, somebody would say and argue with me that, well, this is a nation built upon the freedoms of people, built, guaranteeing that people have freedom of expression and all of that, politically or otherwise, right? I completely agree. But when your political party or your religious affiliation sets out to destroy the peace, freedom, liberty, and security of this nation, and wants this nation to be subdued by the sword, no. We will take back this country and kick those a-holes out of here. All of them. Okay? I am for the defense of this nation. I am for the foundation of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights prior to 1871, and I want it to stand. I want it to grow. I want it to prosper. I want each individual to be able to meet their challenges and exceed and excel within their abilities. I don't want this bull crap of the far-left radical Islamists that want to kill everybody and take over the United States. That's not going to happen because we have some a-hole in Washington, D.C. that is part of them. And his inner circle of cabinet members are members of the Muslim Brotherhood. Don't even get me started on that one. You, the American people, have to understand one very vital thing, and you have to pay attention to your surroundings because this is what's happening. Each and every day, your rights are being systematically and methodically taken away without you even knowing it. I was thinking earlier today before the show, I thought here in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, we have certain places that there are signs on the poles that say free speech area. Excuse me. I have a First Amendment right that guarantees that my free speech is protected on every square inch of U.S. soil. Period. City councils, state governments, county board of supervisors, and even the federal government who say, well, we want... No. I'm going to say this. I'm going to put two things out here. First of all, any state, any county, any city ordinance or law or legislation that is suppressing freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, except for the Muslims or whatever else, if they're putting Christians in the back of the bus, it's time for those people to stand up and take over the bus. You understand me? Not violently, but academically and peacefully and intellectually. Don't grab the wheel and drive the bus over the cliff. Just take it over and make sure it stops before it goes over the cliff. If any county board of supervisors, city council, or state government want to suppress our freedom of speech, then they are in violation of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States for America prior to 1871. And we have to demand their resignation immediately, today, the 22nd of October, 2014. And if they don't give it up within the next 6 months or before the midterms, we demand that they resign now, or we will vote them out of office if our votes count. Now, I know a lot of people might say that I'm a radical. Don't you think those hippies in the 1960s protesting the war in Vietnam weren't radical? Do you think that those people that were shot and killed at the riots at Kent State in Ohio back then weren't radical? For peace, freedom, security, and liberty in the United States, you have to take radical measures to meet the implementation of radical laws. But do it in a defensive mode, peacefully, intellectually, and academically. You do it that way, you're going to shut down this government quicker than anything. You're going to shut down your city halls. You're going to shut down your county board of supervisors. You're going to shut down your state capitol. Don't go there with pitchforks and torches and all of that. No. Go there peacefully. You know, Brian Lang over at LiveTruthRadio.com says, stand up, speak out, and get involved. Well, him and James Neighbors at OverpassesForAmerica.com, they get up on the overpasses and they hold signs. That's peaceful. Hey, Brian Lang, why don't you and your compadres go downtown and hold up signs with big red circles with big red lines saying no GMOs, no Monsanto, no Common Core, no nothing. Go one step further, brother. People are hearing you, and you know this, but not a lot of people, as you said, come out to go to the overpasses. I know people are working, people have got families and all this, yeah. But what's more important? Parents. What's more important, folks? Your liberties and freedoms with which they are methodically and systematically taken away from you without you knowing it? Or standing up, speaking out and getting involved. What's more important than defending your liberties and freedoms? To have the peace and security in this nation that you deserve. What's more important than that? Your stupid football games? Your stupid reality shows? No, I don't think so. Well, unless you want to kick your shoes off, grab a beer, and watch a football game. Hey, I'm not against sports. But there comes a time when you have to turn the damn TV off and go out and take care of business. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this to the listeners of Brian Lang's show, Live Truth Radio. You got an opportunity right now. The midterms are coming up. You have an opportunity right now to gather the forces together, to gather in numbers and get out, get into the streets, get onto the overpasses, get downtown by the city hall. And if you're in the state capitol, you guys need to get your asses around that state capitol, around the governor's mansion, and tell them exactly how you feel. And by the way, if your governor does not stand with you, he's standing against you. And for the New World Order and for the Agenda 21 Sustainable Development from the United Nations. And you know what your obligation and duty is? To demand that your governor step down and resign. Period. Have you read the Declaration of Independence? There's a paragraph there that says it's your duty. It's your responsibility. That if a government is not doing what it is for the benefit of the people, then it is your obligation and duty to get rid of that government and to install new leaders that are going to do exactly what you want done. I'm not saying I'm not going to equate that with the Bolshevik Revolution, because you know how that turned out. 80 years of communism. We don't want that. We still have that. We have fascism in America, but we're pretty damn close to having communism. And I know people who are self-avowed communists and socialists and fascists, and they tell me what's so wrong with it. I'm going, are you an idiot? Have you seen what happened to governments when they're under fascist rule or communist rule or Marxist rule? Have you seen what happens? Well, people are working, for the state. They don't have any individuality. Oh, in the next hour, I got to tell you about that. 9 pieces of technology that can be implanted, that are going to be implanted. Talk about not having individuality. Holy crap, folks. Go look it up. Startpage.com. 9 technologies to be implanted in your body. News.yahoo.com had it. Huffington Post, I think, had it. I read it the day before yesterday because I didn't have a show yesterday. I did a podcast about it. Folks, hello, parents, hello, yo, over here. Do you want your kids to have implants? Do you want your kids to be tracked? Do you want to be tracked and have implants? No, I don't think so. But you look at this government and you look at what's happening, you're seeing a definite move into the singularity. Go look it up. Ray Kurzweil. Also go to 2045.com. Go look it up, folks. I did. I don't like it. On YouTube, go to YouTube and check out implants, electronic tattoos. Go look that up. Yeah, we're so concerned about the political ramifications of our votes that don't count anyway that we fail to look at what is happening behind the curtain. Hello, look who's pushing the button, fella. Look who's pushing the handle there, missus. Mr. and Miss America, you need to arm yourself up. You need to lock and load, and you need to take care of business, because your family is the most important thing right now. Your survival is important. Whether you're a single parent, whether you're single and have no kids, or whether you're married and got a passel of kids, your survival is important. I don't know how much more I can say to that. But if I were you, I'd seriously think about who you are and where you're living. You know, I promote her show sometimes, and that's Angel Clark. Angel Clark at radiofreedom.us. Her and her husband and producer of the show, Famous Dave, packed up and moved from Delaware. You know where Delaware is? They packed and moved to Acapulco, Mexico. Why? Because she said on her show today that she got to, not the border, but they got into, going to move. They had to fill out a paper, and the paper asked name and where you're going to go and how long you're going to be here. And she put down her name and the age and the whole 9 yards. And the lady behind the counter said, told how to fill it out and stuff. And Angel Clark and her husband, Famous Dave, went, "We don't know how long we're going to be here." And Angel Clark said, "Yeah, we don't know. We have no clue." You know what the lady did behind the counter? Stamped it for 6 months. Go right on in. But see, in America, you can't do that. You got to jump through 1,000 hoops, pay $10,000, whatever it is. She said it was easy. It was so easy just to move. They sold a whole bunch of stuff and moved to Acapulco, Mexico. Just moved. Go look on Google Earth and look where Delaware is to where Acapulco, Mexico is, okay? That's a long-ass way, people. And she's on the beach. Okay? So, who are you? And how is this stuff affecting you? Is it affecting you enough to move? Is it affecting you enough to get out? To leave? It is me. But see, this is America. This is where I was born. This is the U.S. I was born here. I was raised here. And I'll be damned if the New World Order and all those minion little bastards of the Islamic State are ever going to kick me out of my own country. Screw them. And we need to demand that our leaders either do what we want them to do now, or we demand their resignation before the midterms. Okay? As if our votes count. I don't know if they do or not. I doubt it. Matter of fact, I'll just tell you straight up, they don't. It's all rigged anyway, folks. It's all a rigged game. So you think about that. And go check out Angel Clark on her show next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay? RadioFreedom.us. Go check out Bob Brutus over at CrazyWolfRadio.net. Go check out Brian Lang over there in Lima, Ohio, up there in LiveTruthRadio.com. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. And this is Free America Radio. Go to freeamericaradio.us.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates, online at thelibertybeat.com. I'm Brian Hagan with your Liberty Beat for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2014. Gold is trading around $1,251. Silver around $17.44. And Bitcoin is trading around $386.74. Today's precious metal price is brought to you by Midas Resources Incorporated, helping clients convert their paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver. Get their 10 Reasons book free by calling 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237. Support for Liberty Beat comes from SovereignMiners.com. Interested in mining Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies? Well, Sovereign Miners has you covered. All purchases come with a free script ISIC miner. Visit SovereignMiners.com to buy your miner today. In the news, Islamic State group fighters seized at least one cache of weapons airdropped by U.S.-led coalition forces that were reportedly meant to supply Kurdish militiamen battling the extremist group in a border town, according to activists on Tuesday. The cache of weapons included hand grenades, ammunition, and rocket-propelled grenade launchers, according to a video uploaded by a media group loyal to the Islamic State group. North Korea's reclusive government abruptly freed an American man on Tuesday, nearly 6 months after he was arrested on charges of leaving a Bible in a nightclub. But Pyongyang refused to hand over 2 other U.S. citizens who are still being held. The Liberty Beat has obtained exclusive access to the convenience store security camera video that captured the arrest of Antonio Beeler during the early morning hours of New Year's Day 2012. The recording validates eyewitness testimony favoring Beeler's version of what happened. Beeler, getting gas at a 7-Eleven in downtown Austin, witnessed 2 Austin police officers violently pull a female passenger from a car that had been stopped on suspicion of DWI. Beeler scolded the officers for their actions and took pictures of the incident, which caused the officers to retaliate. Beeler was arrested, accused of spitting on one of the officers, and charged with a felony. A grand jury saw fit to no-bill the charge, indicting Beeler instead on a charge of failure to obey, and he's set to go to trial on Thursday morning in Austin. To see the video, obtained through an anonymous source, visit the LibertyBeat.com Activist Updates section. Support for Liberty Beat comes from My Magic Mud, detoxifying tooth powder, the most effective and affordable dental care around. Jessica Armand would like to thank Liberty Beat listeners for all of their support. Get a 150 application jar at MyMagicMud.com. Did you know you can support the Liberty Beat when shopping on Amazon.com? Simply log into your account after clicking our Amazon affiliate link at libertybeat.com/Amazon. So do your Amazon shopping after following our link at thelibertybeat.com. This is the Liberty Beat for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2014. Check out the website at thelibertybeat.com and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/thelibertybeat. Another day, another scam, and Bitcoin is not exempt. The Liberty Beat is pleased to bring you a recurring segment exploring that issue. Here at the Liberty Beat, we're big fans of Bitcoin, but with their use comes personal responsibility to keep yourself from getting ripped off. Currently, there are 2 popular Bitcoin scams targeting users, including, according to CoinRepublic.com, so-called cheating scams. They work like this. The scammer offers to sell you airline mileage, digital or physical, but requires you to pay up front. You send the Bitcoin, and they do not deliver the goods. Some scammers will even use fake passports. Bitcoin is like cash. Once you hand it over, it's irrecoverable. Only send Bitcoin to persons or sites that you trust. The second scam of focus today is interest-paying Ponzi. Operators promise interest on your Bitcoin deposits. The method by which they claim to generate the interest varies. It could be by speculation or loaning out Bitcoin to other users of the site. But instead of paying interest, the operator pays you with new funds coming in. Now that's the same type of scam that Bernie Madoff used. Apple has warned users about attacks on its iCloud website after monitoring groups alleged that China had tried to intercept customer information from the service. Although China was not named, Apple said Tuesday it was aware of intermittent organized network attacks on its iCloud service that were designed to obtain user information. That's according to a company support page and reported by PC World. Apple said the iCloud servers are still secure, but advised customers accessing the service to always verify they're connected to an authentic iCloud website. Support for Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network. Videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. This is the Liberty Beat for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2014. I'm Brian Hagan reporting, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's Spencer Hughes from The Spencer Hughes Show on Spreaker.com, and you're listening to The Views Expressed Live.
right here, right now, in your face. The views expressed live for the 22nd of October 2014. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, for the Free America Radio Network. Rock and roll. Yes, I like that. You like that? Yeah. Got that music from, believe it or not, YouTube. If you go to create a video, you can do all that, put the music in. You know. Most of my music is also from freeplaymusic.com. It's a pay service, but there is free music as well. Sometimes it goes, my show also goes on YouTube, and therefore YouTube sends me a thing saying it can't be heard over here because, and guess what? It's only in Germany. I have no idea why. But anyway, yeah, I just got a notice today about some music I guess I play on the show. I don't know. But yeah, it was, I'll find it here in just a minute and tell you what it was. YouTube, it's, let's see. Yeah, but some of the music that you get from somewhere, you know, whatever it is, if it's not yours and it's copywritten under your name, yeah, that YouTube gets a little pissed off. It says here, good news, your dispute wasn't reviewed within 30 days, so the copyright claim on your YouTube video has now been released by the music company. Yeah, so, yeah, nobody disputed it. I didn't dispute it. Or I put in the thing, yes, it's not my music and all this and the other thing. Nobody else disputed it. The music company that usually, sends out those notices. You can't play this because it's our piece of music, right? Well, they didn't dispute it, so that's good. But this goes back to September 25th. So, anyway, what I'm saying is be careful. Okay, you don't want to get banned off of YouTube, you know what I mean. But anyway, a little something there. Hey, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. If you want to sponsor the show, you can go to freeamericaradio.us. Go to the sponsors page. It's not going to break your advertising budget, and that's the way I like it. So there you go. You can also go get your emergency food supply as much as you can and help out your family and help out Free America Radio Network get to the next level. You can also donate if you don't want to do any one of those. You can donate by PayPal or Bitcoin. So there you go. Got a lot of ways to support Free America Radio Network. You can also use Twitter. Yes. At RealWS Pierce. Yes, go check that out. At RealWS Pierce. That's on Twitter. So send me a tweet, you twits. Anyway, just kidding. Lots of things happening in today's world, and it is interesting to it is interesting to be in this time in history, isn't it? We have the United States with a non-citizen as president, actually he's just a person in a suit that's taking up space. Pretty much. He's a person in a suit that's taking up space at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. That's all it is. He's a Manchurian candidate. Doesn't matter who you vote for because the votes are rigged anyway. It doesn't matter. Why do you think he got the Electoral College? But anyway, yeah, so it doesn't matter. So, I mean, we're living in a time of history where everything's going to hell in a handbasket and people are going, hey, man, who's winning on Dancing with the Stars? Who's playing the San Francisco Giants? Yeah, I'm a Giants fan, dude. Okay. So anyway, so we have people who are not engaged proactively or politically. And I don't want to say, well, let me retract that. It's not no one. We have a great deal of people who say, well, if I do this, will it make a difference? Well, if you don't do it, it's going to make a hell of a lot of difference, because then you'll wind up, wiping your feet off on a welcome mat at a FEMA camp near you. So, so either way, you either defend yourself and defend your freedoms, or you don't, and see what the outcome is. Yeah. So anyway, let's go to the, I like going to, let's go to, let's, excuse me, I'm just like losing it here on the second hour. So anyway, let's go to the Drudge Report. Cook County Republican vote marked Dem. See, told you, rigged. Hello. Well, let's go to that article and read it. Fox News. Calibration error changes GOP votes to Dem in Illinois County. This is from watchdog.org. This is in Chicago. Early voting in Illinois got off to a rocky start Monday as votes being cast for Republican candidates were transformed into votes for Democrats. Republican state representative candidate Jim Moynihan went to vote Monday at the Schaumburg Public Library. Quote, I tried to cast a vote for myself and instead cast a vote for my opponent, Moynihan said. Quote, you could imagine my surprise as the same thing happened with a number of races when I tried to vote for a Republican and the machine registered a vote for a Democrat, unquote. The conservative website, Illinois Review, reported that, quote, while using a touch-screen voting machine in Schaumburg, Moynihan voted for several races on the ballot, only to find that whenever he voted for a Republican candidate, the machine registered to vote for a Democrat in the same race. He notified the election judge at his polling place and demonstrated that it continued to cast a vote for the opposing candidate's party. Moynihan was eventually allowed to vote for Republican candidates, including his own race. Moynihan offered this gracious lesson to his followers on Twitter. Quote, be careful when you vote in Illinois. Make sure you take the time to check your votes before submitting, unquote. Cook County Board of Elections Deputy Communication Director Jim Sculzity told Illinois Watchdog the machine was taken out of service and tested. Quote, this was a calibration error of the touch screen on the machine, unquote. Sculzity said, quote, when Mr. Moynihan used the touchscreen, it improperly assigned his vote due to the improper calibration. And I'll click on the click for more from watchdog.org. I will click on that one and post that specific article from watchdog.org on Free America Radio on Facebook. See, told you, rigged, all of it. Well, wait a minute. How come that thing didn't go on there? There we go. Oh. Anyway. Let's see, folks. Let me do this. Something is not quite right here, folks. It's just not. Let me go. Oh, there. Yeah. Anyway, as I said before, at the end of the second hour, I usually, I from time to time promote Angel Clark. She has moved from Delaware to Acapulco, Mexico. Yeah, go to Google Earth and that tells you how far away she moved. So anyway, there you go from watchdog.org. Cook County ballot box tries to cast GOP votes for Democrats. So there you go. Questions all the time. Questions all the time. I got a question for you. Midterms are coming up. Now, of course, you're getting all this political material in your mailbox every single day, are you not? And you're driving around town and you see signs all over the place. Do you not? I mean, they're all over we here in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, where I broadcast live from. we're driving around near the malls, near other, plazas and stuff. And man, I swear to goodness, there's more than 50 signs in one place. Big signs, big, huge, car-sized signs. Okay. I'm like, okay, when the elections are over, I understand that the mailings will stop, but does anybody go out and take those signs up? I'm wondering. I mean, they're going to stay there all year? What the hell? Somebody's got to go take them down. So who does that? You know what I mean? And do they pay people to do that? Does the city take care of it? Does the county take care of it? And if they do, then guess who's paying to take them down? We are. Hello. Yeah, there you go. But anyway, just wondering, just curious, little side thought there. Having one of those days, folks, Yeah, I didn't have a show yesterday because I'm working on some stuff for next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for a Halloween special on Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com. That's my side, my little side thing that I do. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater. And going to have an original radio play written by yours truly. Right? And then I'll have 2 other radio plays, which are on there, which you've probably heard before in your lifetime. But, yeah, all 3 nights, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. So let's make your Halloween on Friday a scary one, shall we? That's Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com, or go to the website. Yes, at eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com. Yes. Got any questions, comments? Please ask. You'll never know if you don't. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Now, let's go here. Let's go here, shall we? Hey, who has an iPhone? I don't. I have an LG Viper Android. But who has an iPhone? Have you got that Apple Pay yet? Figured that one out yet? You got that? Well, over at Business Insider, they have a headline that reads, Dave Smith over there put this up. Thank you, Dave. Some Bank of America customers claim Apple Pay is double charging them. Really? Let's take a look. Apple Pay has had its first major glitch, it seems. Some Bank of America customers are being charged twice for payments made with Apple Pay, according to alerts from Bloomberg. Bank of America says it will refund people for the extra charges. Well, I hope so. We've reached out to, this is what Business Insider said, we've reached out to both Bank of America and Apple, and we'll update this story as soon as we learn more. Apple Pay launched on Monday via the iOS 8.1 update for iPhones and iPads. Apple Pay allows iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus owners to purchase items by holding their phones to a near-field communication receiver and placing their thumb on their iPhone's fingerprint sensor. First of all, here's my analysis. Don't do it. Okay? Just don't do it. On my Android phone, when I go to the Play Store, there's a thing there that says, your thumbprint and all this, that, and the other. I'm going, nah. No, they got enough. They don't need any more. And the NFC thing that you have on your phone, that's that near-field communication thing. Yeah. So you can pay with your cell phone. It'll go on your bill, and there you go. Yeah. Welcome to the cashless society. Yes. Think about this. Let me gear your thoughts into this direction. And I'll go ahead and post this on Free America Radio on Facebook. Let me gear your thoughts into this direction. Cashless society. Okay. United Nations Agenda 21 Sustainable Development. Okay. Hold on to that thought. think about this. At some point, I'm also going to talk about, I'm going to segue this into the 9 technologies that are going to be implanted in you, okay? Right? I got to look this up because I got to, oops, if I can spell. If I can spell. Yeah, there we go. Okay. United Nations Agenda 21 Sustainable Development. NFC, near field communications with your cell phones. Or any type of application on your phone that pays for stuff that you can pay with through your phone. Okay. Hang on. Cashless society. Oh, okay. We heard about that. Okay. RFID chip. Yeah, I've heard about that over 25 years ago. And looked into it and went, no, not going to get one of those. But here it is, folks. We're at that time in our society, in the United States of America, with the technology that changes and advances every 6 months to something incredibly intrusive. Okay? Now, I'll go here because it's important to understand exactly what is happening. Okay? Yahoo News. Go to news.yahoo.com or just go to Yahoo and search for, or startpage.com, 9 real technologies that will soon be inside you. I read this the other day, but it's good to highlight and let people know what's going on. Number 1, implantable smartphones. Bing. Wait a minute. Hold on to that thought. Have you seen the remake of Total Recall? You better go check it out if you haven't. It says here, sure, we're virtually connected. We're virtually connected to our phones 24/7 now, but what if you were actually connected to our phones? That's already starting to happen. By the way, about a year or so ago, I read about implants being put near or in your ears to where all you got to do is, tap your ear. I saw that. It's prototype. It's still in the research and development stages. Continuing last year, for instance, artist Anthony Antonellis had an RFID chip embedded in his arm that could store and transfer art to his handheld smartphone. Hang on to your horses, folks. Researchers are experimenting with embedded sensors that turn human bone into living speakers. Other scientists are working on eye implants that let an image be captured with a blink and transmitted to any local storage, such as your arm-borne RFID chip. But what takes the place of the screen if the phone is inside you? Techs at Autodesk are experimenting with a system that can display images through artificial skin. Or the images may appear in your eye implants. Go look at the show, which I've got to catch up on, Continuum. Go look and watch the first episode. Okay? Just go do that. Number 2, healing chips. Yes, yes, yes. Healing chips. Right now, patients are using cyber implants that tie directly to smartphone apps to monitor and treat diseases. A new bionic pancreas being tested at America's Boston University, for instance, has a tiny sensor on an implantable needle that talks directly to a smartphone app to monitor blood sugar levels for diabetics. Scientists in London are developing swallowable capsule-sized circuits that monitor fat levels in obese patients and generate genetic material that makes them feel full. It has potential as an alternative to current surgery or other invasive ways to handle gross obesity. Dozens of other medical issues, from heart murmurs to anxiety, have implant phone initiatives underway. After the bottom of the hour break, I'll come back and highlight the other ones, the other 7. Folks, I am just at my wit's end. Okay? I'm just... Yeah. Yeah. Let me give you a scenario. Hypothetical. Metaphor. Analogy. Whatever you want to call it. Somebody walks into your house. Says, hey, here, hold this. What? Yeah, just put it on you. Just hang it around your neck. Whatever. And wherever you go, I'll know where you're at. And if you need help, all you got to do is, I'll know it. Don't worry about it. What would you do? How would you react to that? As I asked in the first part of the first hour, how would you react? How would that affect you if somebody came in and said, hey, you're going to have to put this implant in you, and then we can track you, and we can, monitor your health and do all... What? Excuse me? No. That's me. But how would you react? I mean, they got us anyway. We got this little thing called a cell phone that tracks us, our every move. Have you figured that one out yet, folks? Go to your iPhone, go to your Android operating phone, go to your system settings, and go look at location services. Go check that out, folks. Yeah, see, they're tracking you. They know where you're at in live time. Have you seen NCIS? Have you seen CSI? Folks, you're being tracked, hacked, and smacked all the way around. And guess what? You don't know it. Well, you know it now. Have you seen the cameras in your downtown area? Have you talked to the people that put those in? Have you talked to electronic or, people in electronics? Yeah. I've got an electronic background, folks. Trust me. They know where you're at on any given day at any given time. They know when you go into McDonald's and get that Big Mac. They know it all, folks. And you know what to do about it. And don't sit there and say, there's nothing I can do about it. Because... No, there's a lot you can do about it. Uh-huh. But you have to do what you believe is right in your own heart and in your own mind. I'm not going to sit here and give you the silver platter answer to anything that you want to know. You got to figure that one out on your own. What's best for you and your family? So think about that one. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. You can sponsor this show by going to freeamericaradio.us. Go to the sponsors page. It's not going to break your advertising budget, and that's the way I made it. Just for you. freeamericaradio.us. Go to the sponsors page. In the meantime, folks, I shall return right after this. Don't go away. Hey, I got like half hour left, so stick around. I'll be right back. What's that moving in the shadows? Claranormal Talk Radio with your host, Steve Hembry, right here on RadioKahuna.com.
Is he a conservative liberal? Or is he a liberal conservative? You decide. You're listening to The Views Expressed with Reverend Wayne S. Pierce.
Hey there, I'm Big Tiny. I'm the host of Big Tiny's Oldies and More. And we're playing music that you just love to hear from the 50s to the 90s. So check us out Monday through Friday and see what we're playing right here on Spreaker.com.
Listen to Just BK on the Shake and Wake Radio Network. ShakeandWakeRadio.com.
Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
Hey, folks, yeah, you like that music? You can go get that for your own creations over on YouTube. So, yeah, you like that? Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, anyway. What can I... Oh, man, I'll tell you what. God, what is left? You know, what is left? Oh, hey, remember, Eastland Radio Repertory Theater, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next week, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com. I'm in the process of writing, recording, and producing and doing all of that, an original Halloween production. Okay? Next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com and also on eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Come check it out. 3 nights broadcasting live. So you're going to like it leading up to Halloween. So anyway, yeah. So check it out. I will be in the chat room on the website, eastlandradiotheater.weebly.com. And if you don't see me there, I'll be in the one on Spreaker, Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker. Check it out, man. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. All righty. Onward and upward we go. Going back to the 9 technologies, 9 real technologies that will soon be inside you. Number 3, cyber pills that talk to your doctor. Huh? Implantables won't just communicate with your phone. They will chat with your doctor too. In a project named Proteus, after the Enzi body navigating vessel in the film Fantastic Voyage, a British research team is developing cyber pills with microprocessors in them that can text doctors directly from inside your body. The pills can share literally inside information to help doctors know if you're taking your medication properly and if it is having the desired effect. Number 4, Bill Gates' implantable birth control. Yeah, Bill Gates, you know, Windows, yeah, that guy, same guy. His father ran Planned Parenthood for a couple of years. You know, they're both eugenicists. The Gates Foundation is supporting an MIT project to create an implantable female contraceptive controlled by an external remote control. Like we don't have trouble finding our remote controls in the couch. The tiny chip generates small amounts of contraceptive hormone from within the woman's body for up to, oh, get this, folks, 16 years. What? Implantation is no more invasive than a tattoo. And, quote, the ability to turn the device on and off provides a certain convenience factor for those who are planning their family, unquote, said Dr. Robert Farah of MIT. Gives losing the remote a whole new meaning. Number 5, smart tattoos. You've heard of these a couple of years ago, didn't you? I spoke about them on previous broadcasts. Tattoos are hip and seemingly ubiquitous, so why not smart digital tattoos that not only look cool, but can also perform useful tasks like unlocking your car and entering your mobile phone codes with a finger point? Just hold that in your mind, folks. Just think about that for a minute. Continuing researchers at the University of Illinois have crafted an implantable skin mesh of computer fibers thinner than a human hair. You can go look this up on YouTube, by the way. That can monitor your body's inner workings from the surface. A company called Dangerous Things, yes it is, has an, get this, NFC chip, near field communication chip, that can be embedded in a finger through a tattoo-like process, letting you unlock things or enter codes simply by pointing. Yeah. Hold that thought, folks. A Texas research group has developed microparticles that can be injected just under the skin like tattoo ink and can track your body's processes. All of these are much wiser choices than the name of a soon-to-be ex. Number 6, brain-computer interface, or interface. Go to the website, folks, 2045.com, 2045.com. Having the human brain linked directly to computers is a dream or nightmare of sci-fi. But now, a team of Brown University called BrainGate is at the forefront of the real-world movement to link human brains directly to computers for a host of uses. As the BrainGate website says, quote, using a baby aspirin-size array of electrodes implanted into the brain, early research from the BrainGate team has shown that the neural signals can be, quote-unquote, decoded by a computer in real time and used to operate external devices, unquote. I told you, folks, I have a background in electronics. Guess what? All the signals, everything that goes through the bioelectrical, biocomputing system that we have, it's all binary. Go check it out. I should know. Chipmaker Intel predicts practical computer-brain interfaces by 2020. Go to that website I told you about, folks, 2045.com. Intel scientist Dean Pomerleau, is that what it is? Said in a recent article, quote, eventually people may be willing to be more committed to brain implants, unquote. Sounds kind of like, let me go on. It says, quote, imagine being able to surf the web with the power of your thoughts, unquote. Sounds like Eric Holder many years ago back in the 90s when he said people have to be brainwashed into thinking differently about guns. Let me read that again. Intel scientist Dean Pomerleau said in a recent article, quote, eventually people may be willing to be more committed to brain implants, unquote. Excuse me. Number 7, meltable bio batteries. Yeah, hold on to that thought, folks. Here we go. One of the challenges for implantable tech has been how to get power to devices tethered inside or floating around in human bodies. You can't plug them in. You can't easily take them out and replace a battery. A team at Draper Laboratory in Cambridge, Massachusetts, is working on biodegradable batteries. They generate power inside the body, transfer it wirelessly where needed, and then simply melt away. Another project is looking at how to use the body's own glucose to generate power for implantables. Think the potato battery of grammar school science, but smaller and more advanced. Oh, here's one that scares the hell out of me, folks, because just think chemtrails, okay? Smart dust. I read articles about this about 5 years ago. So, yeah, it's been around a while, folks. Perhaps the most startling of current implantable innovations is smart dust, arrays of full computers with antennas, each much smaller than a grain of sand. Have you gone out to the beach lately and measured sand? That can organize, that can organize themselves inside the body into as-needed networks to power a whole range of complex internal processes. Talk about taking away your self-identity and your self-determination, huh? Imagine swarms of these nano devices called motes attacking early cancer or bringing pain relief to a wound, or even storing critical personal information in a manner that is deeply encrypted and hard to hack. With smart dust, doctors will be able to act inside your body without opening you up, and information could be stored inside of you, deeply encrypted, until you unlock it from your very personal nano network. In the last 2 years, folks, have you realized that more and more tech companies and more, let's just say this, more elites are telling you, hey, go to the cloud. You got this cloud out there. You know, you got Gmail, you got this, you got the iCloud, you got this, you know why? Yeah. Can you figure it out yet, folks? Number 9. The verified self. Implantables hammer against social norms. They raise privacy issues and even point to a larger potential dystopia. This technology could be used to ID every single human being, for example. Already, the U.S. military has serious programs afoot to equip soldiers with implanted RFID chips, so keeping track of troops becomes automatic and worldwide. Let me interject something here, folks. I've known about the military implanting devices and RFID devices in their personnel now for over 20 years. I've known that, okay? Yeah. Not going to tell you how I got the information. I'll just say that it has been going on for quite some time, folks. Many social critics believe the expansion of this kind of ID is inevitable. Some see it as a positive. Improved crime fighting, universal secure elections, a positive revolution in medical information and response, and never a lost child again. Others see the perfect Orwellian society, a big brother who, knowing all and seeing all, can control all. And some see the first big fatal step toward the singularity. Go look that up at startpage.com and Ray Kurzweil. That moment when humanity turns its future over to the software. I'm going to put this one up on the Free America Radio Facebook page as well. So go check that out, folks. I'm telling you, I've been researching this stuff for quite some time. Matter of fact, ever since I was a junior in high school, some 30 some odd years ago. And I can tell you right now, you're not going to get out of it unless you stand up against it. And throughout history, we can be encouraged that people like ourselves the freedom fighters, the people that don't want the government all over our ass trying to, tracking us and knowing everything about us, we can stand up against it and say, hey, piss off. But see, now we're in a totally different era. We're in an era of information. We're in an era coming to that Kurzweil dream of singularity. Go look that up, folks. I'm not kidding you. Imagine for a moment, there's another movie it just came to mind. There's another movie, there's a television show called Eureka. Go check that out. It's on Netflix. But there's another movie called Demon Seed. You want to talk about creepy-ass technology, go look up Demon Seed. Go watch. It's probably on YouTube. It's probably, a cam rip or a DVD rip or something. But yeah, you want to know something else? Go look up the Forbin Project. So don't tell me this is brand new. It's really good and it's really positive. It's going to help out a lot of... No, it's not, folks. It's been going on for quite some time. From the creation of the United Nations in 1947 and the Bilderberg Group in 1954. Don't give me this crap that this is not happening. And folks, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is on record out of their own documents. Out of the UN's own documents. Go look it up. Go read papers from Ray Kurzweil. Go to 2045.com, 2045.com. Go check that out. This ain't bull. I'm telling you. Brian Lang, if you're listening, yeah, I would seriously consider looking into this stuff and telling your listeners what's happening. Oh, and keep up the great work because you're doing great work in your area. Too many things are happening at once, and they are accelerating to a degree that our minds cannot handle. We can't fathom the ideas of these elites because they're diabolical demons that want to control every aspect of the human existence. You don't believe me? Yeah, go check it out. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe Pete Santilli. You don't have to believe Alex Jones or Glenn Beck or Mark Levin or Michael Savage or Brian Keller or Nick Tucker or Bob Brutus or Brian Lang. You don't have to believe any of us. But if you don't go check it out, it's going to be to your detriment. I mean, hell, if you want to come home from work and a hard day's work in an office or in a truck or welding or whatever it is you do for a living, and you just want to grab a beer and kick your feet up and watch ESPN, you go right ahead and do that. Go right ahead and do that. You tell me all the scores and the stats of the players and the averages and all that. You go ahead and do that. Go ahead. But when they come knocking at your door, well, they're not going to knock. They're just going to break it down and take you and your family away. You don't believe me? There were 2 commercials on MTV several years ago. Go look it up. It's on YouTube. They're on YouTube. I can't remember the names of them, but MTV commercial, I can't remember the name of it. But it was on MTV, and they showed a family in a house. Kids are on the floor, one's doing homework, dad's in the chair reading the paper, mom's in the kitchen doing whatever, or in the dining room, whatever. There was a knock at the door. Mom goes to the door, and they just bust right in, take everybody away, and then it dissolves from modern day to Nazi Germany, where people were being put in trucks and taken off to camps. Okay? This is not a conspiracy theory, folks. I don't even call myself a conspiracy theorist. I call myself a political realist. Because the real issue is not so hard to understand. that the political system that we have in the United States of America is nothing more than one step away from a totalitarian system. Whether you want to call it fascism, Marxism, socialism, or communism, it doesn't really matter. Whatever ism it's not going to be, because we, the people, have a foundation that we have principles that we live by, and a foundation that we can stand on. Peace, freedom, security, and liberty. Standing on the principles our founding fathers put in that document called the Constitution prior to 1871. And we're going to stand on the very spirit of the Declaration of Independence. And if we don't, well, guess what, folks? Nice knowing you. You got things you have to think about now. And I hope that I've encouraged you enough to go check this stuff out on your own, because, you know, when I searched for this and researched this while I was in high school, and yes, I did some reports on it as well, I didn't believe it. I was going, this ain't, what? A shadow government? No, this ain't, no. It wasn't until the late 80s that I realized that what I was searching, what I was researching and seeing and coming to understand was verified, clarified, validated. Because I educated myself on what's going on behind the curtain, not what your stupid mainstream media or your state-run media tells you. Then when Clinton got in office, holy crap! The things he did, closing down military bases for financial reasons, no. Oh, we have a surplus. No, you don't. You wrote in a budget and said our budget has to be this. Okay. So they closed the military bases to match that budget. We're still spending money. Taxes went up like crazy. Okay? And by the way, the FEMA camps that are in your FEMA regions are in full operation, managed by Kellogg, Brown, and Root. Go look it up. And you know those military bases that Bill Clinton closed and a few other closures under Bush and all that? Yeah, guess where you're going to go, folks? Guess some of them have been turned into family residences, family resident facilities. Yeah, there's a former military base out here, which is still being used, by the way. I say former in quotes. It's where the Reno air races take place, and it's in Stead, Nevada. It's about, I don't know, a few miles away south of us, or north of us. We drove out there one day. I just had a feeling I was hearing something. You know, I had a feeling I was hearing some things for a few days, and one day I had a feeling, so we drove out there. And we saw military vehicles out there. Not only that, we saw military personnel training out there. So I don't think that base is closed at all. I really don't. But if you have any information about bases in your area that you have heard that were supposedly closed, please send me that information. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. I don't care where you're at. You're Australia, Germany, England. I don't care. Email me that stuff. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Put in the subject line radio. That way I know you heard the show. We got a lot to think about, folks. Let me pose another question to you. 1775, 1776, the War of Independence, 3% of the population of that time beat back the biggest army in the world, and that was the British Army. Okay? Do you think those people had any reservations about defending their property and rights and freedoms? 1860, 1861, the Civil War. Do you think those people had a thought at all about sitting back and going, let somebody else do it? No. Those farmers, those people got up, went out, and took care of business. Yeah, there was a lot of deserters, and there was a lot of people that went AWOL and, stuff like that. Besides, 3 members of my family were in the Union Army. And it wasn't about slavery, folks. That was let's just say that was a trigger. It was about secession. Confederate President Jefferson Davis wanted the South to secede from the North, from President Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln went, not on my watch. Confederate Army was so disorganized, we beat the crap out of them. And then they still have reenactments. Hey, don't they know they got beat? I mean, come on. Folks, another day gone by. I will be here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. You want to join me earlier? Can you? Great. How about 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern? How about that? Can we do that? All right. You want to do it? Let's do it. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network on Spreaker.com and freeamericaradio.us. Check it out. I'll be here at 3 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, right here for your enjoyment. Hey, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, I don't mind. Show me why. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Also, the Halloween special at Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker. I know that's a mouthful. Let me say that again. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com. EastlandRadioTheater.weebly.com. Next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, an original production that I wrote for Halloween. Come check it out. Also, 2 other productions that have been around for quite some time. I'm going to play those as well. So come join me at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on the Eastland Radio Repertory Theater on Spreaker.com. And enjoy your Halloween. Yes. So anyway, folks, you're awesome, man. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Nobody was in the chat room today on the Spreaker side of things, so, hey, I get notifications that you people are listening live. Jump into the chat room and say hi. That's all you got to do. Just put 2 letters, H-I, hi. That's all you got to do. Okay? How hard is that? All right. Hey, go, and if Brian Lang is listening, keep up the good work, man. Live, truthradio.com with your host, Brian Lang. Monday through Friday, 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Yes. Go check out Bob Brutus at crazywolfradio.net, and also, that's crazywolfradio.net, Bob Brutus. Also check out Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. Go check him out. He needs a platform. Somebody's got to give him some time on their network, man. So, hey, sound of the music means I got to go. Talk to you guys later. There's a lot of things to remember. I know. I filled your head with a whole bunch of stuff, but please separate it, remember it. Help yourself out by checking out all the information that I give you. I encourage you to do that. You don't have to believe me. Go check it out. That's all you got to do. Just check it out. No big deal. You'll find out on your own. Hey, remember this, folks. It's really easy. Very simple. Not complicated. Just got to remember, we the people have the power, for we are America.